Good morning, class. I'm Dr. Ashwini Katule and I'm Assistant Professor in Community Medicine Department. Today we will discuss nutritional surveillance and social aspect of food surveillance or food-related social aspects. So, what is surveillance? First, we will see what is surveillance. Surveillance is continuous scrutiny of certain diseases in a certain geographic area so that we can find out what is the basic problem in that area, what is the exact problem, and what is the incidence and prevalence of any disease or any problem in that area. For that, continuous scrutiny is needed. It called as surveillance, continuous scrutiny of certain disease or certain problem in certain geographic area to find out the what is the amount of problem in that area. So so many types of surveillance are there: centile surveillance, step-by-step surveillance, all that. But likewise, for all diseases, nutritional surveillance is also needed to know what is the basic need in that area and what is the prevalence of nutritional related diseases in certain area. So for that, surveillance is needed, nutritional surveillance. For that, what we do, we take certain area, certain district, certain city, or we choose one area for surveillance, for nutritional surveillance, as we say. In that area, we make one form in which all the protocol and schedule, all the protocol should be pre-decided, whatever number of related to deficiency disorder, overnutrition, undernutrition, malnutrition related, iodine deficiency disorder related, vitamin A deficiency disorder related, anything, whatever problem you want to assess related to that, you have to make one protocol, you have to make one questionnaire regarding that, in which all the geographic parameters should cover, with sex, address, occupation, socioeconomic status. Then if we take malnutrition in the nutrition for under 5 children, we have to assess, we have to do surveillance regarding that. Then we have take all the number of children, under 5 children in that area, those who are registered in Anganwadi, those who are not registered in Anganwadi, what is a what other type of services they are taking, immunization status. Then if they are registered there, they are coming there or not, what is the height, weight, head, chest, circumference of each child. That all thing we have to take in this surveillance, and we have to deal with all this huge amount of data. After that, we analyze that data. Of course, fallacies are there, biases are also present, can be present there. This means certain amount of error can be present. If I am taking certain surveillance questionnaire and I don't want to ask any question, or I don't have mood, that is personal bias or subject bias. I am not asking properly all the questions, so that that whatever interview I am taking women or for in that area, that is not proper. That kind of errors can come in the history taking or surveillance data. So that it is called as a bias. So many factors are there, and so many types are also there for to reduce the bias or to reduce the error also. So we collect all the data during surveillance. Those child who are missing, if we are doing centile surveillance, we basically do it for the rare disease, like if we want to for tuberculosis, HIV, if nowadays for Ebola, SARS, or this kind of needed to detect missing data also, missing cases also, and those for those diseases which are very common also. So after collecting, after setting all the protocol for the surveillance, we take interviews of all the population we have decided. Then we analyze that data and after analysis, whatever prevalence come, whatever outcome come, whatever output come from that data, we take it as a granted. Means it's like multi-stage. It's not like in a single stage. Whatever this process is for surveillance, that is multi-stage. After collecting all the data, then we analyze that data and we make one report. On the basis of that report, if it is fair enough, that report is fair enough, and same study you are doing for if there is no error, that repeatability of that surveillance can be there, that sensitivity and is fair enough. After that, we can generalize this, whatever our outcome is there, कि this much amount area. Likewise, malnutrition is present in 40% under 5 children. So after all these surveys, we can on the basis of result of this survey can label any area. This is malnourished, this is endemic for iodine deficiency disorder or malnutrition area. That government launch certain programs for benefit of the common people. So this is the normal process for the surveillance for this some diseases, means common diseases also, and for rare diseases also. This is the general procedure, and same procedure we follow for nutritional surveillance. In that, we have to, whatever surveillance is there or whatever program is there, that needs certain plan. If plan is not there, there is no use of that program. Is what is our starting point and what is our end point, that we have to know that, and in between we have to step by step monitor that program. So monitoring step is very important. So nutritional monitoring on the regular basis in that surveillance is very important. So in that we orient each and every child, we measure the health status of each and every children, nutrition, and help them to promote with the help of ASHA or Anganwadi worker. We enroll all the children in that area so that ICDS, whatever ICDS programs are there, Anganwadi program are there, midday meal program are there, they can use that and it can help them to take all these services. And if growth is not proper, if whatever enrolled number of children are not come to the proper growth, whatever target set to that children, then reanalysis and what is the cause for what not they are getting the benefits of that, and they are not reaching up to the optimum level of the health. So we have to find out the fact and we have to work on that program also. So that monitoring is the heart of the program. If planning and monitoring is not there, no program can success. Then surveillance is equal to orientation to the sample, nutritional condition of the village or any certain geographic area to know the nutritional status is better or worse in certain geographic area, to improve or the status of nutrition in a certain geographic area in certain amount of population. And after all this, we have to label, diagnosis, final diagnosis of malnutrition or assess the impact of that surveillance we have to do on the basis of these steps. Now this is all for the surveillance. This is very short and brief short discussion on the nutritional surveillance. Maybe in next class we will discuss some more, but if you any question on nutritional surveillance or any kind of surveillance is there, you can write all these points so that you can solve that SAQ or LAQ in a better way. Now coming to the social aspect of nutrition, this in medicine we tackle each patient on the basis of their sign and symptoms. Whatever sign are present in patient at that moment or in few days, we deal with that. We come to the diagnosis on the basis of sign and symptoms or inspection and with the help of lab diagnosis. But in community medicine, it is a comprehensive approach. It is not a single approach that on the basis of sign and symptoms we have to conclude that this is the final diagnosis for the certain patient. This is not like that in community medicine. So we have to search for all the aspects for the patient, for the individual or for the community, that we can reduce that like social aspect, family problems or mental aspect or nutritional aspect. All that aspect we have to search, and then we have to come to the final diagnosis. When we present case in community medicine, there is medical as well as social diagnosis is also there. If you are coming, anemia is your medical diagnosis in adolescent girl, then social diagnosis may be because of lack of nutritional status, poor socioeconomic status, hygiene and sanitation. This is also because of maybe some addiction also. This is all your social diagnosis for the some case of this. So in community medicine, it is required that medical aspect also, and that social or environmental aspect or personal aspect or mental aspect or spiritual aspect, everything comes under in community medicine. So we have to look in all the forms. So social aspect for today we will discuss specifically social aspect of nutrition. Security and civilization. Social aspect is like we are from the civilization and from ancient, whatever our type of living conditions, our food habit, our background, our religion, our caste, our area, that all impact on the social aspect. And ultimately all this social aspect comes under that impact of social aspect influence nutrition, and that nutrition ultimately affect on the body of patients or body of subjects or common people. So this is very important aspect to learn or to understand. Nations are linked not only by ideas but by spread also. Different thinking are related to that is also we have to look. If we are taking history if we are taking history for infant and that mother is not feeding that baby, she is isolated from the family, why nobody is taking care for her, what is their generalized thinking, what is her mother-in-law think about that, what is her husband's view regarding that everything we have to understand in fact, and which is directly and indirectly related to the nutritional status or hunger or malnutrition or overnutrition, anything. So this aspect is very important. Now problem of malnutrition, it is a pathological state resulting from absolute deficiency, or if malnutrition is not means lack of certain essential nutrient. So we have to look for deficiency also and excess amount also. Undernutrition means insufficient starvation. Overnutrition means excessive quality of food. Is hypertension. Diabetes and hypertension is indirectly related to the overnutrition. Imbalanced nutrition means disproportion among essential nutrition with or without absolute deficiency of any nutrition. And specific deficiency means any lacking of a certain micronutrients or macronutrient. Specific deficiency like vitamin. Like problem is very huge. Malnutrition is not new in India or in African country. It is whatever we are seeing, that is just a tip of iceberg. So much problem of malnutrition and anemia in this country, that is prevalence 20% in certain area. So this is very huge problem and so many programs are working on that. So In this kwashiorkor, marasmus, xerophthalmia, nutritional anemia program, it directly indirectly affect the society, and various different kind of, it's not like the vitamin A deficiency disorder is also malnutrition, specific malnutrition. So for so many programs are there in India nowadays, nutritional status. If we take comprehensive action of all this, the optimum level, whatever target set to that program. So we have to take all the program in a proper way, that whatever beneficiaries are there, they can take the optimum level of benefits from that program. So we are providing so many resources to beneficiaries, but they are not taking that much. So lack of awareness also, and because of some misconception also, they are not using that food items or benefits of that program. So we have to raise the awareness in the population regarding this program. So indirect effect of nutrition, that social aspect is and nutrition, regarding nutrition is highest morbidity and mortality among young children, especially under 5 children, physical and mental growth retardation, reduce life expectancy, whatever life 60-70 years life expectancy is there, that is reduced because of under 5 children mortality or infant deaths, malnutrition, like various kind of infection, worm infestation, hookworm infestation, or measles, chicken prone because of malnutrition. If nutritional status is not proper, automatically immunity level of the baby will reduce, and breastfeeding and exclusive breastfeeding is not there, colostrum is not given to that baby, then automatically that immunity level will deteriorate, and more and more diarrhea, dysentery, ARI, acute respiratory infection kind of things obviously affect the infect the child will go on. Likewise, maternal mortality, steal rate, low birth weight babies, this is very common condition because of malnutrition. If overnutrition is there, because of obesity is one of the risk factor. Obesity, smoking, addiction, tobacco, is one of the risk factor for the diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular diseases, renal diseases, gallbladder diseases, and liver diseases. So these are the direct or indirect effect of malnutrition on the population. Ecology of malnutrition is, it is a man-made disease that we all know. The approach toward the prevention, we have to set the specific approach, like primordial approach, primary approach, secondary approach, high risk prevention approach. Prevention strategy we have to decide, then we have to implement that. Just thinking of prevention strategy will not work. We have to work on that. Different modes we have to use, that mass media we can use, IC, information, education and communication, behavior change communication, all these things we can use to implement this prevention strategy. Implementation is very important. Just thinking is not sufficient. If I am thinking I will study and I will get highest marks in the class, this is not possible. I have to work hard. So after that only there is some possibility I will top in the class. So prevention strategy or implementation strategy should be, proper implementation strategy should be there, and whatever other conditions like infection status, that we have to treat along with all this malnutrition. Single treatment of malnutrition will not work. Comprehensive approach we have to use for that. Then cultural influence is also there in India. So many cultural things are there. Different region have different culture. So obviously it will affect directly or indirectly to the health status of the individual. Food habit indirectly affect the cultural status of the individual. So it plays very important role in food habit. Then food fads are also there, personal like dislikes is also there, cooking practices are very different in a different area, like draining of rice water, prolonged boiling or in an open pan, peeling of vegetables, that all influence the nutritional status of any food items. That child rearing practice is also different in different areas, like breastfeeding practice, bottle feeding practice, commercial products are also doing different kind of role in this. So many child rearing practice are also different in nutritional status. Then this is also very common nowadays, it is changing likewise, but men eat first, women eat last, and poor nutrition, she will eat whatever rest is available after eating all the meal. That is the main problem earlier, but nowadays it is changed. Chronic alcoholism is also one of the problem in men or in adolescent also. Addiction is very playing very important role in malnutrition. So this is also alcoholism or smoking, tobacco consumption is also playing vital role in malnutrition. Then socioeconomic problem is also there, poverty, ignorance, insufficient education, lack of knowledge of nutritional values of food, sanitary environment, and large family size, or inequality or unequal division of food in men or women or boy or girl child. So that socioeconomic problems are also there, that will differ from area to area, from urban slum to rural practice area. Everywhere all things are very different. Food production is also there. Before all this and all, we have that food production was very less. After the green revolution and white revolution is increase in milk production, that nutritional values of food item is somehow changed or deteriorate. So whatever amount of food we are taking, that should be in a proper way, so that all the macro and micronutrients of our need of our body. So nutrition is also playing very important role in nutritional status. And during lockdown, nowadays we can see that there was a misconception, food will not available, local item will not available, like that. Availability is also playing very important role in this. Then unequal distribution, as we say, all these are the problem related to food. Then nutritional surveillance, we talk about this. Now nutritional rehabilitation. Immediate to take for the children and for adolescent girls and mothers, means reproductive age group women, we have to take immediate action for that situation. Then we have to give urgent hospital based facility, provide some primary care to that children or mothers or reproductive age group women. And all the health sectors or all the health centers, rehab centers are there in Raipur also. 2-3 rehab center is there in every district. 2 or 3 rehab center is there, nutritional rehabilitation center, in which for the children, they it is completely non payable. So children and one most likely mother can admit in that. And growth standard, whatever target growth standard they have state for that children, they admit for certain duration, mostly 21 days or 1 month at rehabilitation center. Nutrition in immunization, vitamin A supplementation is there, or stepwise supplementation, or Anganwadi they are providing additional food, that supplementation program is also there. And health education is very required. Then prevention and social measures level should be work at family level, community level, national level, or international level. First we have to start it from the single house. So house unit should be there from single family. Then coordination should be there for the prevention and social measures. Coordination is very important, that food technology and administrative coordination, health education or marketing strategy, that all should work together, and comprehensive approach should maintain for the prevention strategy. Action at family level, that principal target is the family, the basic target member is the family members, that we will give education to the family members, and who is head of managing all the stuff in the family, like housewife or elder person. We will teach basic things to that person, or whatever harmful food taboos are there in a single day, that will change. It is not like that, but so many days are required for that. And other things like kitchen garden or poultry farm near that, we will advise them. It is a family level action. Then community if nutritional problem is there, then identify. Then dietary schedule should be, we will prescribe that vegetarian on non-vegetarian, whatever food factors are there, all food factor we will prescribe that which is locally available, and realistic and feasible approach we will plan for that. It's not like that ki just kaju khao, badam khao or nutritional status will increase. It is not like that. Whatever feasible, basic, cheap food items are there, that we will suggest to that family member, and regular monitoring we will do in that area. Direct intervention, that supplementary food programs we will provide, like Anganwadi centers or midday meal school programs are also there, in which food one meal they are providing, 1 or 2 meal they are providing for the school children, so that attendance in the school will increase and nutritional state improve. Then vitamin A prophylaxis program is also there. Then permanent solution is quality wise and food supplement food production and supply should be there, and that should be accessible to all the common people. These programs are also there, improving the all living condition, living standards, and improve the socio-economic status of the, this is the very long term goal, that improving the living condition and social status of the family. But we can set that in stepwise manner, after 20 to 30 years it can be possible. Improvement of water supply and infection control program, we will work on that. Then action on national level, that is the so many NGOs are there, non-government and government NGOs are there. They are doing their work for immunization and health status also, for rural development also, and for urban development, urban slums, more specifically urban slums development also. So many international programs also there, and health activities should be planned, or environmental day things, so that environmental hygiene can approach that can be applied to improve the nutritional status in the community. Then action in international level, it is a global malnutrition is a global problem, so international cooperation should be there. Mitigation of efforts of disaster is also one of the factor. What disaster management should be proper at the international level, and all the FAO, UNICEF, WHO, UNDP, CARE and World Bank, everyone is working different, they are working on different sets for the nutritional benefit in the community or in the national or international level. This is all about the social aspect and of nutrition and surveillance of nutrition. So this is just repetition. So this is the small but very important topic of nutrition, that is social aspect. We have covered most of the thing in this nutrition chapter. So this is all about today's class, and we will discuss I think 2 or 3 or 4 classes are there that will complete your this year's schedule.